Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Toasty Tentacle. I'm your host, Irreverend Ellsworth. Thank you for tuning in today. We've got a special guest, a treat. Welcome, my friend, Miss May from Tampa Bay. Miss May, hi, how are you? How's it going?
It's going wonderful. How are you doing, Sean? Long time no talk.
It has been a long time no talk. My gracious, it feels like forever ago. What's it been? At least 2 years, maybe 3 years, maybe 4.
Maybe something. I was going to say more like 2 to 4 minutes, but I mean,
Yeah,
who's counting?
I mean, our practice Zoom sessions aside, we don't talk about that, May.
Don't bring that on the live broadcast.
I tell you, it hasn't been 5 minutes and already we're tearing down the fourth wall. Well done, May. Well done.
Hey, I'm a truther at heart.
A truther. Usually when you take a word and put a at the end, it usually means there's something about to go on. Usually there's a birther or a truther, a flat earther. I mean, it's
I tried flat earth. It didn't work out for me.
No, I prefer my pizza flat. Well, see, okay, now I won't get into the whole flat earth conspiracy because I think conspiracies are fun. I think it's great to be skeptical. I think you always need someone out there going a little more hardcore skeptic than you are. So you can kind of go, hey, maybe too much. I can kind of dial it back a little bit for my own personal stuff. But the thing about the flat earther is that outside of the flat earth, that's where the magic lies, and that's where things get interesting. And I'll just leave you to do your own research there. I won't get into that, but I think conspiracies are fascinating because it really shows you how people view the world. People get that perspective.
I don't know, Sean, because I really feel like if you spend more time with flat earthers, you'd really see that's where the fun begins.
See, I can't take you seriously. Hey, speaking of comedy, so how'd you get into comedy? Were you always funny, or is it just your mom said otherwise?
Oh, well, I mean, trash talking. I would say probably a rebel at heart. As a direct result of my upbringing, but definitely funny since birth. I mean, Sean, you knew that the minute you met me. Was there any doubt?
I did. Well, I've known you since birth. Wait, no, I've only known you for like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years or something.
It feels like forever.
It has been forever. What are you, like 25 now? 26? 27?
Yeah, that's exactly. You hit the nail on the head. We met when I was like 15, right?
Yeah, totally. I met you. You were a runaway.
I walked into the bar.
You walked into the bar with an artist, I remember, and you were wearing a white dress, a very artistic white dress. And I noticed it was very artistic.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, no, it was good.
I think we actually met at that place called... It was something like
Finley's Irish Tavern.
No, that wasn't where we met.
That wasn't
it? That is where I wore the white dress, though.
Oh, that is where
the artsy white dress.
I remember the artsy white dress.
No, we met at that place called something like the Silver Tap. It was off of Walsingham.
The Silver Tap.
It wasn't silver though. Tap was.
Oh, Finley's.
No,
not
you
Finley's.
keep circling back to Finley's.
I keep circling back to Finley's. No, it's the something tap, the Irish tap. You said Irish tap. What is it called?
Could have been, honestly, it could have been like the whiskey tap. It could have been.
You sure? Niagara tap. Niagara tap. That's
where we met.
Yeah. My friend Allie V, she did. She coordinated some shows, I think. Yeah. Oh, you saw me. That was the first time.
Yeah.
Niagara Tap. Oh, those are the memories.
Yeah. And I have no idea what I was wearing that day, but I remember I was so impressed with your comedy skills.
Oh, please go on. Please go on. Please.
I really did. I thought he was amazing. I thought you were amazing.
Don't hold back on my account. Don't hold back,
me.
No, don't hold back.
I knew we had to be friends. I knew
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, once you see talent like that on stage, you're like, hey, hello, can I work with you? Hello. Somewhere you're going to be going somewhere someday. clearly.
I don't think I've actually officially met any of your puppets.
No, no, these are these are amazing. This fellow right here, his name is Ellsworth. Nice to meet you.
Ellsworth.
Yeah, nice
So
to meet you.
nice to meet you.
Thank you, thank you. Nice to meet you too. Yeah.
Love your eyes.
Oh, stop.
Fabulous.
I love your eyes.
You should love my eyes. They're gorgeous.
I
Let me
do.
give you a good look.
I
Look at
do.
these eyes.
Those eyes are
Seriously?
great.
See,
Ellsworth, her eyes are
amazing?
up there. Right, right. That's where I was looking, in her eyes. I used to do all puppets, and then I realized that was insane. So I only do some puppets, and then I maintain some sanity.
Was it the puppets, Sean, or was it all the crocheting? I need you
Hey,
to be
look,
honest.
it gets cold, and you get bored, and you get angry, and you put that stuff into a hook, and I mean, just a couple, you know.
I mean, right now is a good time with the
It's a good time.
quarantine.
Oh, it's a good time. It's warming up
Yeah.
though. It's hard to crochet when it's hot. You ever crochet when it's hot?
I can honestly say the answer is an absolute no because I've actually never crocheted.
Well, if
So
you've never
it's a hard
crocheted,
no.
then you've clearly never hot crocheted. Hot crocheted is really, really bad. Think of like hot yoga, but you have to drag your wet clothes across your lap. It's just not good. It's just not.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's sticky. It's sticky.
that sounds bad.
It's like swimming in your clothes and you get out of the pool and you're like, you're all sticky. And then that's how crochet feels across a hot body in the summer. It's a
That
winter
must
sport. It's a winter
that
sport.
must be like what flat earthers feel when they're actually around
Shouldn't have brought
some
that.
educated scientists.
No, it's
Very
totally,
sticky and
it feels
uncomfortable.
sticky and uncomfortable. And
Wading
like,
through the BS.
I got wedges. I got wedgies. I got wedgies. Well, it's funny because so rarely do conspiracies go backwards. Like we thought it was a flat Earth, and then we knew it was round, and then like, well, do we though? And it's like,
Do we know for sure, Sean?
I mean, I guess nobody knows anything for any. All right, hey, so how are you staying creative through all this? Clearly not chasing down conspiracies. How are you being creative in this strange times of ours?
Well, how am I being creative right now? I would say I am actually being creative by
I mean, not for nothing, you put together a Zoom set. I mean, that's something. I come on. I mean, did you take audio visual in high school? Did you do any like theater set or movie sets?
Sean. I don't know where you're going with this. I'm creative just by simply either zoning out, making movies in my own mind, frequently avoiding my mother, watching way too many Netflix shows, episodes back to back. Do
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
binge watch on Kardashians? Do you ask? Yes, I do, and I'm not ashamed of it. Okay, those are some of the things that I really enjoy. But if I'm being serious for a moment,
Sure,
um,
sure,
I,
sure.
I do enjoy taking some old furniture and refinishing it.
Oh, okay. All right. Very
Yes,
nice.
yes, I actually do enjoy that. Back when I was in my teens, I did enjoy writing a spot of poetry when I was super depressed and I was in a dark place. So,
Okay.
do I enjoy poetry now? Absolutely. But do I actually feel the need to write it? No, because I'm just too happy now. And in so facto, I can't write anymore because I've actually lost my dark inspiration.
I'm happy now, so I have nothing to write about.
Basically, it's all very upsetting.
Yeah.
Maybe I can kind of tailspin off of that and take me right back into a deep, dark cycle of depression.
Let's not. Let's avoid it. And maybe we could just stay with refurnishing because that sounds good. Hey, so that's
It's
fun.
it's it's refurbishing, Sean. I
I'm
wish you
sorry,
would, like really pay attention closely to
refurnituring.
the guests that are
So
on your show.
what you're saying is you like to refurniture?
I I like to spend a lot of close time with my furniture. I like to be very close, just up front, very personal experience with my furniture.
What you
You
say
know,
is you're chasing a refurniture high? Is that what you're doing? Are you
I have no idea what you're
chasing
talking
it?
about, Sean. I have no idea.
Are
I
you
have to become one.
chasing your reupholstery?
I've got to become one with the furniture. Essentially, how am I going to know what color I want it to
Right,
be? How else
right.
am I going to know, what design
That
I need
makes
to put on
sense.
it?
That
Unless
makes sense.
I am just
I mean,
feeling
you're
it out. I have
getting
to be inspired, Sean.
sure. Yeah,
It's
no, I get
important.
that. I totally get that. No, it
Hmm.
makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to me. I think it makes a lot of sense to anybody watching this. So do you draw or paint or any of the visual arts? Do you
I stencil, Sean.
you stencil?
I feel, yes. See, I would have to classify myself as a level D artist when it
Oh,
comes
level
to
D. Is it
refinishing
don't
furniture.
don't do it?
No, no, no. It's just, I'm jumping in with both feet, Sean. I mean, this
Sure,
is my
yeah.
year. You know what they
Yeah.
say. You know what a
Sure,
lot of
man.
people
Sure.
say. It's my
Sure,
year.
man. It's
And
totally your year.
it's totally my year. So what I'm
Totally.
doing is I'm just winging it,
Okay, good.
essentially.
Yeah.
I'm winging it. I have artistry in my blood.
Of course. Of
So
course.
I figured it's a learn as you go process.
Hmm, hmm.
That's the way I'm taking it. So I'm learning as I grow. And if I screw it up, I mean, turpentine and start over. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
that hard.
turpentine. And I'm so glad we're talking about paint and then not like just like harsh chemicals will undo
Oh
any
no,
mistake.
no, no, no.
No, no, I
I'm
understand.
pro
No,
environment. Pro environment,
no,
Sean,
no,
right
that's
here.
good. No, that's
Yeah.
good. All right, so a D-level artist. So you're refurnishing. So you're refurnituring some pieces. That's good. Um, so I hear you also do some like movie stuff. You've done some movie stuff before. Is that here?
That's a true fact, Sean.
True
It's so
fact. Yeah.
interesting that you would bring that up
It is.
on
It's
this
fascinating,
interview.
really. I know. It's like I did my research. I did my research for this interview.
You did. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, we've actually starred in a few of those movies together.
Wait, what? What
Yes.
is that? Get out of here,
I
May.
mean,
Tell me about this.
the
What is this
dynamic
about?
duo, super
The
talented people.
Skynamic duo? Yeah, the
The
Skynamic.
Skydynamic.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's how Skynamic we were. We forgot our own name. Hmm.
Actually, I
That's
think we've been in 3 short films together.
I think we have. I think we have, yeah. I think there was
First
the
one that we co-wrote,
that
right?
was
You
the
primarily wrote, and then I came in
I
and
mean, it,
added
it was
later.
based off of my comedy, and you came in and punched up a bit. You know, the doctor will see you now. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was. That
That's
was awesome.
a fine piece.
And then I remember the concept that I had based on a specific very bad experience I had. But again, out of the darkness
Yeah. No. Yeah. Totally.
comes the art,
Comes
right?
the
And
art.
so
Yeah.
we made 1-800 dial a boyfriend,
Right. That was good. Yeah.
right?
That
Or
was
what is
real
it?
good.
1-800 adopt a boyfriend.
Adopt a
1-800.
boyfriend. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because yeah, build a boyfriend. Something like that. Yeah. Adopt a
that
boyfriend.
would have worked.
Like, oh, are you? Yeah. I'm like, can I borrow your phone number? Like, oh, you're totally coming home with me. Yeah. That was good.
We should share snippets
We should. We should roll film.
later on
Roll
in
film.
the
Yeah, we're not there yet.
editing
Okay.
room.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We should do snippets. Yeah, it'd be good times.
Add a clip here.
I had totally had a clip like no, it's good. Do you find this quarantine is forcing you to revisit some projects that maybe you wouldn't have?
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. I've caught up a lot on sleep.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
That's been important. You would have thought I would have caught up on health, but unfortunately, that is not apparently very. I don't use the word important. That seems
Right.
kind of harsh. Low priority on my list. I tend to eat healthy, but I definitely have found myself walking less and
Okay.
less as the days pass.
So let me get this straight. Exercise
Mhm.
is such a low priority that the world could literally come to a standstill and it still wouldn't prompt you to walk more. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, what I'm saying is if the world were come to a standstill, it would give me an absolute built-in excuse not to ever go to the gym because I'll be like,
Yeah.
finally, now I have a complete reason, never have to leave the house ever or be seen by people. So this works out great for me. And
Yeah.
that just means more Kardashians,
More
more Netflix.
Kardashians.
And I mean, I think eventually one of my goals is to read more of the books that are on my shelf. I do plan on doing
Sure.
that.
Well, good.
Maybe next quarantine. Next
Yeah,
quarantine.
next quarantine. So,
Yeah,
you
in the
you brought
fall.
up
In the fall.
Netflix. Have you seen Tiger King? What do you think of it?
I
Think of the
saw
Tiger King?
Tiger King. So I have a lot of mixed feelings, Sean.
Okay,
I
all right. Tell me, May. What do you got? What do you got? What's mixed
okay.
for you? What's mixed?
I was surprised to see the how popular it became, like this overnight success. I was dumbfounded,
Right.
dumbfounded. Now, mind you, I just visited the cat rescue in Tampa
Oh yeah.
uh, about 4 or 5 weeks before this whole thing blew up on Netflix. So I didn't know anything about who Baskin was or Joe Exotic. I wasn't familiar with any of these characters, aka apparently real life people.
They're real
Uh,
people, mate. It's
they're
not a movie. Tiger King is a documentary. It's
that's what I keep hearing.
there's a real Carol Baskin, and her husband really did disappear under mysterious tiger savory
Circumstances.
circumstances. Yes.
Yes, yeah. We do all have some thoughts and theories on what really
Hmm.
happened there. But I guess my first thought is, yeah, I am kind of surprised about how it became such an overnight success. If I must say, the greatest takeaway for me from Tiger King were the memes. I
Oh
absolutely
yeah,
love the
yeah.
Tiger King memes.
Carol Baskin. This what happened.
That's right. TikTok. That was awesome.
Oh, I love me some TikTok. TikTok, for me, I say to everyone, TikTok is like a dollar store. You go in there and you only expect to spend a few minutes on the app, and then like 3 hours later, you're like, how did I watch 3 hours worth of 60-second clips? But they're infectious, and lots of Tiger King on there.
I haven't actually, so I watched it. I've seen some TikToks, but it's usually because the TikToks are sent to me and I had to
Oh
download the
no.
app to become a viewer.
You gotta
But I
you
don't
gotta get
actually
on the
have an account.
TikToks. Oh, you gotta get on the TikTok. So we're on there. Toasty Tentacles on there. We have some clips on there. I'm just saying.
I
We're
got to
kind of
catch up with the
everywhere.
times.
Yeah. Hashtag Toasty Tentacle. Find us everywhere. Find us anywhere. Ha, ha.
Nice plug. I like
Thank you.
that.
Thank
That
you. That
was
was very
good.
nice.
You
So
know, what,
yeah, no, go ahead. What were you?
I was going to say, one of my best friends, she's so into TikTok that when I talk to her at night, she will actually get off the phone and say, "Look, May, it's like really nearing my bedtime, and I've got to actually spend some time on TikTok, see what's going on before I go to bed." I'm like, "Okay, man, like talk to you tomorrow, I guess." Have fun. Um,
We've got things to do on TikTok. We've got things to do on
very, very
TikTok.
important.
Very
Very important.
important. Yes. So, hey, so that's a good segue into our next segment. I hear you like to do accents. You do accents of, around
Very
the world.
much. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, one of my
What
favorites,
we
of
like.
course, is my Indian accent from
Oh,
when we
no.
did "Hello, very
What?
good."
No,
Yes,
I
I
don't think
enjoyed it very much.
what you have to, what? You got to, what?
Hey, you
Oh,
know
it
what?
really happened. I went to an Indian funeral. I went to an Indian wedding and I saw everybody. They were just like, "What? I have a question for you." What? No,
you know,
it's legit. It's not it's not stereotypical. It's legit honest.
well, it's funny that you bring that up, Sean. I will say, as an artist in any facet, in particular when it comes to comedy, and you know how much we like to laugh, and
Sure.
part of comedy is emphasizing a lot of these characteristics
Right,
about
right,
humans, regardless of the shade of the pigment in their skin,
right.
regardless of their geographic location, regardless of their cultural background, especially being that I am half Lebanese, half American, and technically my Lebanese, well, my mom's mom, so my grandma was Iraqi, and my dad's mom was actually Greek, so I got a lot of Mediterranean going on there. But at the end of the day, but the other, my dad himself, he's American, so
Right.
I'm a blend. A lot of us are Heinz, and I think one of the things that I miss about comedy in general is how, in a way, we become very trapped in our capability to really make fun of these very, very obvious things because everything has become so overly sensitive in our society today.
Yeah.
I think that we've lost um, the ability to make fun of ourselves. I mean,
Yeah.
as humans, just we've lost the ability to just look at ourselves and say, "Oh my God, you're being silly or ridiculous," or like you said, being able to do an Indian accent. I think one of my favorite things when we did our very first film together was
Right.
the fact that I dressed up and as an Indian doctor. Nobody knew who I was. To this day, when I show them pictures or watch the movie, people who've known me for years are just like, "That was you," and I'm like, "Yep, very
Uh,
good, thank you very much." And
very good.
yeah, I think it's great. I think it's awesome, and I'm the kind of a person that in order for me to absorb an accent, a lot of times I have to immerse myself, being
Right.
able to, listen to that accent a lot, or even kind of become part, take on some of those characteristics, of that part of the world for a time to really able kind of retain it in my mind.
Right.
And all the identity politics, not to go to kind of like a sour downer right now, but I think I think they're trying to steal our thunder. If you really think about this, the identity politics folks are stealing our thunder as comedians in
Well,
the
I think
art world.
identity politics is strictly telling people that there are a million different experiences, and it's going to be an uphill battle if we ever want to agree on things. And I think it's important to laugh at things without laughing down. Wait, okay.
Yes,
So
I
they
totally
say
see what
with
you're saying.
comedy, they say comedy is all about punching up, it's not about punching down. You should make fun of things that are in power. You don't want to make fun of things that are powerless, because then you seem like a jerk. And
That's interesting. So I think it depends on the context. I mean, we
right.
wrote 1-800 Adopt a Girlfriend. I
Mhm.
mean, that's pretty dialed down. We're pretty much debasing ourselves to some really, really low points in our lives.
Yeah.
1-800 Adopt a Boyfriend. I mean, come on. That was a pretty low point for me.
Yeah.
That's
But I mean,
that's what brought
but
about the
what do you,
inspiration.
when you think of like Woody Allen, he literally adopted his girlfriend. And if we took it as a literal thing, it's not very funny at all. But if we look at it from the perspective of like, if you're going to date in this modern age, you might as well be adopting a human being, because you're like, oh wow, your mom is still taking care of you. Yeah, okay, no, you're perfect, honey, you come home with me. In a literal sense, it humor humor comes from a place of tragedy. And the problem is if you can't see the distance between the tragedy and the humor, then you're not going to get the joke. If you're currently going through something that is tragic, that is just wrecking your life, if you've got no money, then poverty is not funny. But if you've
Yes.
gotten past poverty, if you've gotten back on your feet, well, then poverty's funny, because haha, that's far away from me. Humor is our ability to distance ourselves from our tragedies.
Yes, I agree. I think that's really well said. I mean, even if you look back on some of the old shows, some funny shows from back in the '90s or the early 2000s, and the things that we considered funny, that are would no longer be acceptable in today's
Right.
cultural climate. You
Well,
know.
it's a thing where, so when I say that I was at an Indian wedding and everybody asks a question by going, "What is going on?" That's not an interpretation. That's not me accentuating things. I'm looking around a room and people are nodding that way. Now, for me to bring that up and for me to go, "Oh, isn't that peculiar?" But someone who doesn't ask a question that way, got past that peculiarity, then the humor is okay. But if I look at it like, oh, these morons are wasting their time and screwing up
Right.
their necks by tilting their head, well, then that's laughing down at someone. That's
Yes.
condescending.
Yes, I
So
agree.
I think the same joke can take on a nasty tone depending on, as you said, the context. Who's
Hmm.
telling it, why are they telling it? you know if I'm telling you from a perspective of like, I was a fish out of water going to a place where everybody asked questions with their neck instead of their hands, then you can laugh with me. And when you're in that situation, you can laugh along with it because you
Yeah.
understand a culture different than yourself. But um,
Agreed.
yeah, it has a lot to do with perspective and with context.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
100%.
so serious.
I know. Gosh,
I
even in
know.
comedy, how did we get here?
I know, like all conversations about comedy eventually come up to this because they're all like, "What's funny?" Like everything's funny. It's like not everything's funny. It's like, well, eventually everything has to be funny, and when you can't laugh at something, then you die. And it's terrible, but
Do you
that's
know what
kind of
the
how it goes.
worst question I've ever received?
Oh
When
no.
people are like, "Oh, May, my friend May, she's in comedy." And every time I get asked this question, I just want to, you know, punch myself in the leg. But I can't because I'm in public and there are people around me. And they say, "Oh, say something funny." I'm like, "Oh my God, you're putting me on the spot." And I'm just, you're in a group of people. And I'm like, the other, when for me personally, it's kind of like you're looking for a canned joke, you
Right.
know, and that's not my style. And I think that's the other thing is that I think so many people don't realize how many styles of comedy there are, how many
Right.
styles of humor there are, the levels of humor there are: sarcasm, dry wit, toilet, bathroom humor. I've always considered myself to be more of a, like, I love writing,
Aw.
so sketch comedy,
Right.
SNL, so very much that's right up my alley, or a storyteller type, like
Okay.
a Bill
Sure.
Cosby. But the
Not like
one-liners,
Bill
it's
Cosby. Not like
no, well, yeah, maybe I mean like
not like Bill
who would you
Cosby.
say is another storyteller type
Just
style comedy?
anybody but Bill Cosby.
Anybody but him, May?
Just
Anybody but
anybody.
him?
Anyway, Bill Burr. Bill Burr's great. He's good. He
Bill
tells
Burr.
stories. It's
Okay.
good. I know what you're saying though, and I tell you, I've a lot of comedians run into that. They run into that thing where you're like, "Oh, you're funny, huh? Be funny," and then that's where you look
Yeah,
at
be
him and
funny.
you're like, "What do you do? Are you an accountant? Yeah, go ahead and depreciate this asset." And you're like, "Okay." Yeah, and you could do that with anybody. You're like, "Oh, you're a doctor. Could you go ahead and set this leg?" And you're
Yeah, be
like,
great.
"Okay." And you're like, "Oh, you're a comedian. Be funny." And I'm like, "Knock, knock. Who's there?" I don't know. Somebody that works for free. What do you want from me?
hmm You know, I've never actually tried that on somebody, but I appreciate
Yeah, throw it
the
back at them.
information because yeah, I'm
Throw
gonna
it
I'm
back
gonna
at them.
start implementing that just
Yeah,
based on their career. This is gonna
there's
be great.
there's a lot meaner responses, but we're trying to keep it nice and PG on Toasty Tentacle. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're having fun with Miss May from Tampa Bay. So Miss May, we're wrapping up here because Zoom only has so much free time for us, and I
Bummer.
think I think we got like another 3 or 4 minutes. So if people want to check out your artistic side, should we just hope and pray that you come out with something, or is there somewhere we can look? Do you have a Miss May site or
Uh,
something?
MissMayComedy.com. I guess I could resurrect it just for your benefit for
Whatever,
the
dude.
sake
I'm
of this
not.
video.
Don't do us any favors. All right, we're not looking for any favors. But if you could, that'd be kind of cool. And then Skynamic Duo, I think, is out there still.
Yep.
Yeah.
Skydynamic
Okay.
doing
Good.
Channel 3 is out there. It'd be nice to
Good. Good.
consolidate them all. Just, give myself credit for everything. We'll put it all on Miss
Sure.
May Comedy.
Yeah. Miss
I'll
May
get a
Comedy.
TikTok account, Miss May
Okay.
Comedy, and then I'll put
Then
your
hold you
name in
to it.
really, really small letters at the bottom in the fine
Teeny
print.
tiny, very teeny tiny. We don't. What a friend of mine was like. You'll be in the credits, and I'm like, hey, as long as you do your thing, that's credit enough. I don't need thanks. I just need you to get off your duff and start working. Because frankly, I'm tired. So tired, just so tired. But hey, thanks for joining us today. I before you go, what's your hand washing song? What do you wash to keep your mind off of something for 20 seconds while you get letting the soap rip the coronavirus off your hands?
You know, um, I'm not sure if it's so much a song as much as it is a visual video that I actually replay in my mind. May I
Nice.
describe it?
Please
Yes.
do.
Okay. I saw this little visual video on Instagram, and it was the coolest thing. At first, I thought I was getting myself into some really, really dumb stuff, but I couldn't take my eyes away, and I felt it necessary. I was so captivated on the screen, and it was of this video of a person who took it had gloves on, took black paint to instruct people how to properly wash their hands.
Oh,
And it was
nice.
to showcase exactly how soap actually gets through the fingers. I'm thinking, this is the dumbest thing. I'm going to watch it anyways. And you see the guy, he just puts, the black paint starts right here in the palm in the center. And I'm like, yeah, obviously. But then you'll see, then he shows you and he's like, do you see? That still hasn't gotten everywhere. And then you keep rubbing and going through. And I'm thinking, okay, it's gotten everywhere. No, look at all the barren spots that haven't been
Yeah.
touched yet. And then he has to go like this. And then I'm like, well, what happens next? Because the black hasn't gotten all over both hands yet. Then
Right,
what?
right.
I was so into it. And I was like, damn, if that isn't the best hand washing video I have ever seen,
That's
hands down.
nice. Well
Mm-hmm.
done. Well done. I think that's the whole reason they do that. What I do is I do the Noble Duke of York. The Noble Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up the top of the hill and marched them down again. Because when you're up, you're up. When you're down, you're down. And when you're only halfway up, you're neither up nor down. And again, the Noble Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up. So that's 20 seconds. So even if you run through that, you still get like 20 seconds. And yeah.
Oh,
So thank you very much. Well,
wow.
thanks for joining us. Yeah. What
It's
parting
my
thoughts?
pleasure. No, yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say, Sean, if you are interested, I'd be happy to forward you the hand washing video
Thank you very
segment.
much. Yeah,
I
thank
have
you.
it
I
saved.
appreciate that. Yeah, that'd be really cool. So yeah, we'll check out Miss May Comedy, and please check out hashtag Toasty Tentacle everywhere. Things are wonderful and day. So please stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.